Thank you, Ron, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to cooperate with you all, because yes, we set up really something very, very good. We are doing thanks to your efforts and everything. I'm very happy and I'm proud to be inside EduNano. Well, today what I'm doing is to just tell you quickly which was the motivation for us as Politecnico di Torino to enter in the EduNano project. And then, yes, I will focus a little bit on ECTS credit. Today I want to show you really what it means with some real examples of how I manage daily students inside Politecnico di Torino, and then I will finish giving you a few words about our contribution to the project, more specific. Okay, motivation of Politecnico di Torino, why we are in EduNano, more than to be with friends, but okay, we are talking now of professional reasons. Professional reasons are that we had already two mentioned project by Jack, NanoL and NanoSkills, from where, of course, it was not enough for us to say, okay, yes, they are finished, but we want to continue the experience. This is why we had in mind to set up EduNano. And, of course, it was a great interest. And now Italy, my rector, my leaders are pushing and asking us as Politecnico di Torino professors and researchers to set up as much as possible cooperation with Israel because of several reasons that of course you also know very well. And finally, we are talking of training. The goal is to enlarge and to set up the similar system we have in Europe with people, with institutions outside Europe. And so to set up really tools for improving the international cooperation in terms of training. So for doing this, to reaching these goals, we needed two tools. The first tool was tempus, money. We needed money to have a possibility to work together. And the second one is exactly the ECTS, the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System. Now let's go just a few words quickly to tell you. Most of you, of course, are very much aware of what I'm talking about, but I want to stress a few concepts that are written here. So it is ECTS credit system is designed to make it easier for students. The students are the core of what we are thinking about. And the other thing is that, of course, it becomes from what is named Bologna process that has the goal to make national systems more compatible. And so the ECTS do not want just simply to give you numbers, but want to give you the possibility also of planning better your courses, to deliver and to evaluate them better, and to prepare and to present them in a better way. Because from some way it is structured, there is experience behind this. So also if professors, of course, they consider to be the closer thing to God, but we can bring them down a little bit and let them understand that it is important, of course, to share things and to do the things in an organized way and to force the professor to organize the description of the course in a way that is understandable, useful for understanding what you learn and what you need and what you will have when you finish your course. This is done maybe in some, let's say, autonomous way, but ECTS is also this, okay? Not only credits. It also gives tools for doing better the work of the professor. Well, how does it work? Just let's talk of numbers. Of course, the first important thing is that, okay, we consider 60 credits are an equivalent for a full year. And usually the bachelor cycle, it is considered between 880 and 240. These two numbers give you also the good feedback that there is considered the freedom for people, for institutions, to have a possibility to decide, not to be forced to choose 180 credits. No, each institute can consider to enlarge it a little bit or to decide and to have a freedom, of course, to be autonomous. But from the other side, for example, what happens for the master degrees, usually I see in Europe is 90 degree plus 30 credits of master thesis. The master thesis is usually considered when you do exchanges of students of 30 credits. So 90 credits of courses plus 30 credits for the master thesis work. And as you see again, there is freedom, but European countries are converging. Also, the process in Europe is not yet finished, okay? We are in the middle, we are working on, and you will see one step in which we are not in yet. But you see that the credits around Europe are almost different because you consider, you have also to measure what is one ECTS credit. You see from the numbers, you see Italy's is 25, but if you take the average and the normal now use of credits is between 25 to 30 hours of work, full work of a student. Means work in the classroom, work in the lab, work at home. So it's a full count of the hours that the student must invest for reaching this load of work. So we are talking of 25, 30. For giving you an example of what we do in Politecnico di Torino, in Politecnico di Torino, 10 hours of frontal work are considered one credit, because we consider that 10 hours of work in a classroom frontal training are equivalent to a load of 25, 30 hours for the students going back home, reading, understanding, reading the books, and understanding what the professor taught inside the classroom. So this is the goal. But I want to show you also this video that is an official video explaining what are ECTS credits in Europe, and I took from European Community. But sound, Jack, you switch off the sound before, yeah? Okay, good. Thank you.
The European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System has been running now for over 25 years, and it was originally established to help students transfer credits for the learning that they had done in one university to another in another country. But now it's turned into a tool which is helping universities to modernize their education as a whole and really focus it on the needs of individual students.
ECTS is for all students, you know, full-time, part-time, lifelong learners, they can all benefit from ECTS. Mobile students can use ECTS for the recognition of their periods of study abroad and of their qualifications. Credits can be obtained in the institution where the student is registered, either permanently or temporarily. ECTS credits have become the currency of European higher education.
Students benefit from this because it really puts them in control of their program. They are the ones who can choose the modules which fit together in order to make up their course, and really reinforces the concept of student-centered learning.
ECTS credits are used for all sorts of educational programs, including online distance courses, and for all kinds of students.
Higher education institutions benefit from ECTS because it helps them to design programs which are as efficient as possible and which are really targeted on the range of learning outcomes which the students need to achieve.
By using ECTS, programs are well structured and well described, so they become more transparent to the outside world.
With 60 credits for every academic year and a clear approach to how you define learning outcomes, it means that degrees are much more readable between countries, helping with both the mobility of students and staff and with the broader internationalization of universities. The guide is for students themselves so that they understand what's expected of them. It's for teachers to help them deliver their programs more effectively, and it's for stakeholders on the outside, like employers, for example, to understand better what it is that students have achieved during their program of study. The guide takes you through all the steps that you need to run ECTS in your institution. It helps with the design of a program to make sure that you have clear learning outcomes and a balanced workload for students. It helps you with the evaluation of the achievement of the learning outcomes by the students themselves. And finally, it helps you to ensure that the credits are recognized when a student moves from one university to another. Over 75% of all of the courses which are delivered in higher education in Europe already use ECTS, and I hope that the guide will help to increase that number even more.
Okay, so you have now the official view from European community. Now what I want to show you here is how it is applied in real life. I am responsible personally for the outgoing students from electrical engineering. So I manage their trip, not in terms of hotels or something, but in terms of teaching, their move to external universities. Here you have a list of some of the students of, if I well remember, last year. And you see here I have all the institutions. We are talking of Norway, Stockholm, Sweden, France, all around Europe, Barcelona, Darmstadt in Germany, Cork in Ireland, so. And here I have a list of these students at which I have to approve what we name the learning agreement. But it's a learning agreement that is a mix of courses inside Politecnico and the courses abroad. So how we can do this? This is the, I took one example from one of the students. You see, I have two things to approve, the contents and the credits. Thanks to the credits, to approve the credits is an easy-going job because I just check that here at the bottom I have 30 credits in Italy and 30 credits in this case we are talking of yes, someone in KTH, okay, in Sweden. That's it. I don't mind. I don't have to think if the load. No, it is done. From KTH, they tell me this course it is 7.5 credits. That's it, and I take it. Of course, I trust it. And you see, the first thing, it again, autonomous management of a university. In Italy, most of the courses in Politecnico di Torino, most of the courses are 6 credits. In KTH are 7.5. It doesn't matter. What I check after is we're talking of the topics. So I check the left and the right. I do not look for a perfect match because the perfect match doesn't exist. Because of course each university organizes its courses autonomously and also inserting topics in one course and not in another. So what I do, my work is to take the courses on your left that it decides to do not follow in Torino, because if I accept the learning agreement, following the course on the right, he will have accepted the courses on the left. And what I do not stop here. I have another page in which I have all the list of the courses that the student is following inside Politecnico in the master degree, and I check that the full list of what he is doing or will do or did in Politecnico di Torino, plus the 4 courses that he will do in Stockholm, are enough for saying, yes, he has now the knowledge, he has now the topics, he has now everything is needed for saying, I can give you the degree in electrical engineering. Of course, this work, it has to be always personally done by a professor, because to merge the topics, to merge the equivalency must be done personally. But I don't care about the load. That is, I tell you, a very good point, and I do not waste time in checking this. And me personally, for example, we have a PhD level, it's my course in nanoelectronics. We don't have it at master level. There are some universities in which nanoelectronics is inside the master level. I don't mind. Probably he will lose something in Politecnico di Torino, because maybe he puts me inside this list something that is not nanoelectronics, he cannot, so he will not do something. But I consider important that he goes to another university and he takes knowledge in nanoelectronics, and maybe he doesn't have a perfect knowledge in operating system, talking about software, or in embedded systems, or in analog circuits for filters, I don't know. So this is my work, okay? That's it. Training and topics and the career of the students must be complete. And the point at which also in Europe we are not arrived to the end are the scores. For the scores is not yet up and running a unique methodology. Now I do it in this case, and it is a lot of time, so I don't want to say waste, because it's not wasted time, but if I do have a unique scoring among the different universities, this work I don't have to do it. I just take what is written here down, the grade inside the ECTS way of giving courses. In this case, for example, this is a student from KU11 in Belgium. C is not, do not consider it. I have the credits, okay, and I have here the marks in KU11 are up to 20. So we have inside Politecnico Excel sheets in which we have some constants, some numbers of equivalence, some coefficients that we use to translate the mark from KU11 to Politecnico di Torino. I took one of the best students, not all of them have, as you see, the maximum, for us 30 is the maximum, or 30 cum laude is even more, but you see, this work I have to do it by myself, by hands, and it is, of course, an ongoing process in which all the universities are trying to converge and to move to the unique also scoring. That is also very important. But it's a part of it, okay? I want to underline one phrase that was reported in the video. It's a sort of, economically speaking, is the currency. The ECTS are a currency, yes, that gives you the possibility to exchange students, but are more scores, but also the organization of the course. So I just quickly end my presentation talking you about, of course, our activities. One of our activities inside the project was to share the experience, talking about the ECTS credits. And this is why, of course, we were inserted inside the project as Politecnico, not only because of the previous project, but because you can see from these numbers that this is a shot on 2013. We had 16 programs completely in English in our university, and you see the number, the 16% of our students are foreigners. And now this is an updated table where we added 2 more programs, so you see the list of the courses of the programs completely tough in English. And this is, you see, the number of the students coming from abroad. In Italy, we have a lot of Europeans, but also, of course, also in international students out of external Europeans. And in this case, this is why also to enlarging the concept of ECTS is important and useful. And you see also down how increased, okay, the number of foreigner students deciding to study, and we are very happy of it in Politecnico di Torino. Finishing my presentation, just a quick shot about what we are doing inside the project in terms of courses. We are responsible of 2 courses, the bio-non-electronic devices for biosensing and a course on molecular electronics. The first course, it is already in the Moodle system at Tel Aviv University servers, and it is divided in 2 sections. The first one made by Professor Carrara of EPFL in Lausanne, with which we have a great cooperation in exchanging students. For example, this picture was done by one of my students working in his lab, and the second part is done by me and this student Alice Di Monte. And in this course, we share theoretical topic done mostly by Professor Carrara. You see, for each course, we put a short summary of the content of the course. You can select, as Jack showed you, to start the video, and now you have a slide. But we have also some recorded lectures done inside labs. So Jack showed you inside clean room. In this case, we are talking of, you see, it's a bench for electronic laboratories, in which, in this case, I'm showing how to build nanoprobes, nanometal probes, just for, of course, the goal of the course. And the second one will be recorded in the next period, in the next academic period. It is for molecular electronics, so we are talking of molecules for nano devices and the use of molecules for building and making new devices, and also the technologies and the system that you have to put, you have to develop, you have to design and realize for building real working systems. Talking about dissemination, one dissemination channel that I will apply soon, it will be to insert the courses, of course, the advertisement of the project inside this Euro training project. It is, I can consider it probably one of the the oldest projects of European community. We are responsible for the dissemination of the web and the setting up of the courses, of the list of the database of the courses. It is a project that was renewed five times, so 3 years each. So it is a 15 years old project. So this is why we have in this project a newsletter of 11,000 emails of people that we selected during all these years, really interested in having news about micro and nanotechnologies. And now that the project as a platform that is up and running, it is time soon to aware these people and to put EduNano under the spot of Euro training. So, present, we finished one course, and one thing that it is very important, we started talking with partners inside EduNano for doing things that we did not have in mind before. We are starting to think, to share courses, to set up new courses, new way of learning. I learned, me too, a lot of things about the new novel possibilities, about Twitter, about these possibilities, but also the flipped possibility, the solution of teaching that was, I did not know it before, and thanks to EduNano, and I tell you, soon I will apply it, I want to apply it in one of my courses. And so, of course, the future, we have to do the second course, and we will, I'm sure, increase even more the interaction with other partners and the contents of our course. So, thank you so much for everything and for your patience.